Welcome back to Herbies Garage. Today we're on the 1996 Yamaha Wolverine 350 4x4, and we're continuing with all the repairs on it, trying to get it up to date and rideable. And I'm going to show you where I'm at with it. And today we're going to go ahead and get started on the front brakes, and this should pretty much wrap up the front end. I'll show you what all I've got done up to this point. But then we'll be moving on to the back end, which needs bearings and seals and, yada yada. All right, well, let me show you what I've got so far. If you watched my previous videos, you know that I put a new axle on this side, and I put new boot kit on this side, and the knuckles have new bearings and seals in it. This side over here, I did get the spacer, both spacers, the inner and outer spacers. Got those put on. I found these used, these parts here. I went ahead and bought those and painted them a Yamaha blue. And the drive line back in there, I put new U-joints and yoke in it. So I think that all of this up here, I did change the oil in the differential while I had it out. I had to have this out in order to put that U-joints on that drive line. So I went ahead and drained the oil and filled it up. I didn't do that on camera, but I did change the oil in that, just to let you know. And today we're going to be doing the brakes. And once we get the brakes done, I've got new tires, and we can put the new tires on the front, and this should wrap up the front end pretty much. And this is what I've got. I've got two new calipers and a new master cylinder. If you remember, my master cylinder had a broken bolt in it. That was too much of a pain, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace all of this stuff. Got some brake fluid, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to try to flush it out. I came up with this years ago whenever I had difficulty getting air out of the system on something. So all I did was I got a vacuum hose for air conditioning work. As an old one, cut the end of it off, spliced into it to my brake bleeding kit, and then I just turn it on, stick it on there, and let it suck it out, and keep doing that until I flush it out good. I'll show you that as soon as I get it all together. So let's go ahead and get started putting it together. We'll go ahead and open this up and get our calipers out. Now these calipers came complete with brake pads, and it also has the sealing washers for the bolt, so it's kind of nice. Well, this is supposed to be in between the pads to hold it open, and it fell out, but it's still open, so that's good. Got to make sure this moves, which it moves freely. And here's our brake line banjo bolt and sealing washers. Alright, so let's figure out how this goes on, and we'll put this on. First thing I want to do is I want to put a little bit of blue Loctite. Doesn't need a lot, just a touch. Alright, then I'll set this bolt down, get this bolt ready. Now I don't know if this goes up. No, it has to go this way. Let's see. Here's the old one. Yeah, goes like that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and line our brakes up. Our brake pads onto the rotor. Get the bolt started. Kind of nice working with brand new parts. I probably could have bled the other ones and cleaned them up and everything, but I mean, these were so cheap, and I think they'll work just fine. Where'd the bolt go? There it is. Gotta get these good and tight. I'll go back and torque it all. I have the torque specs on it, but it's in the house. Let's go ahead and take this. Alright, we'll go ahead and take the line off of it. Boy. Let's go ahead and take the line off the old one. Boy, that's some nasty looking stuff there. Yeah, banjo bolt's just about plugged up. All right. Alright, so we take our bolt with a washer on each side of the fitting. And we'll just tighten it up. You gotta be sure that that line is not hitting on that stop. You gotta pull it away from it a little bit as you tighten it. The other side, I may put the line on first. This was kind of hard to put this on without being able to see the hole. And then that line will hit against that stop. And you just want to snug it down good. Alright. That feels nice. Now we'll move the other side. Alright, let's go ahead and get started on this side. It might be a little easier to go ahead and take this line off of this old caliper first. Those pads are shot. Whoa. It's still got fluid in it. But those pads are shot. Look at that, especially this one on this side. Well, they both are, really. We'll clean the line out a little bit. We're going to be getting some rusty stuff through this. Wished I could kind of bleed this first. And I probably could if I had time, but I'm just going to speed the process a little bit. Okay. So now we'll take our bolt out with our washers. Now see, that's going to go up from the bottom like this. And then this is going to mount like this with the bleeder to the top. Alright, now let's go ahead and put our bolts in it. Now I got the bolts started on both top and bottom. Okay. Tighten that down good. Like I say, I have to come back and retorque these to whatever the book calls for. Now I'll finish tightening this line up. Then I'll tighten the line up. Make sure the brake hose isn't hitting on anything. You kind of hold it as you snug it down. Okay. Alright, the brake calipers are installed. They look really good on there too. Now let's go ahead and get this brake master off of here. Well, these bolts are rusty. Whoa, losing some fluid out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and put these bolts back in here. I may put this back on, who knows. That hole right there I drilled out, you can tell it's bigger than that one. And it just isn't very pretty, isn't very good. I'd rather use the original, and I may end up doing that. But like I said, that hole is just so funky because drilling that was really kind of difficult because it kept wanting to throw the drill bit over because this is softer than what the bolt is. So I can probably drill that out and tap that bigger and then have to drill a hole in the cover and put it back on. And I may do that in the future. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go with this new one. It always worries me whenever they're so inexpensive that it may not work, but we'll find out. I don't remember how much this was. I think it was less than $20, but it'll probably be all right. As you can see, it's got an up with an arrow on it. Tell you which direction to put that. If I stay with this one, I'm going to have to either get a different brake lever for the other side or paint it because they're one's faded and one's not. Plus, it's a little bit different of an angle. That'd probably drive me crazy. I know, that's a short drive, right? We're going to make our reservoir kind of flat and level. I'll go ahead and tighten this down. Let's see, I want that down just a little, I think. That's good. Okay, that ought to do that for that. We'll take our brake hose, clean it up a little bit. Like I say, this is going to be having some dirty fluid going through it. I'm okay with that. I think it'll clean out. I'm not really crazy about these sealing washers they give you. I'd rather have the copper ones. This has got like a metal with rubber on the inside. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll give her a go. I can always anneal the old copper washers and reuse them. I think they're down there somewhere. I'll have to pick them all up. Yeah, let me get this where it comes straight. I want it straight that way. Okay. Now we got everything mounted. So let's go ahead and take this off. You know, I was looking for screws, these screws, for the other one to replace it. I was hoping I could get the other screw out and I could just put fresh screws in. It was like $7 just for those 2 screws. It's crazy. This whole thing, I think, was, like I said, less than 20. And it says on here, it says same thing on the other one, DOT4 brake fluid. The other one says, the original one says DOT3 or 4. So we're going with 4 because that's what I have. And I'm going to use an already open container. It's not good for anything other than flushing. That's what I save it for. Because if you have a old container, brake fluid's hydroscopic and it will get moisture in it, and we don't want to use opened brake fluid for that. So I'm going to slowly open this lever, and then I'm going to slide my tie over to it. Now, see, this is one reason why I don't like the aftermarket thing compared to the stock ones. See where that lever's at? It's an inch away from the end of the thing here, but it does have a plastic piece here, spacer. I could take that out and then move it down, and that's what I'll probably do. Okay, I'm on the left side of the bike first because this is the farthest one away. The master cylinder's on the right hand side, so we're going to start here. And I'm not worried about draining that out up there because right now I'm just flushing. So I'm going to drain it completely out. I'm going to fill it up, drain it completely out until I'm seeing clear fluid come into this container. I'm going to go ahead and turn my pump on. Make sure it's pumping. Feels like it is. All right, let's see if we get anything out of it. Here comes the rusty old fluid. Takes a while to get that air pulled through too. And actually this has got one line coming out of the master that splits off to both sides. So it's going to have air coming through both of those and this one. The other side should be a little bit quicker. It may have drained it already. I'll have to look at it. That reservoir doesn't hold as much. I had to move this all the way over because the brake lever wasn't pulling all the way to the hand grip, and it wasn't allowing the fluid to pass through. So we'll try this again. I think it'll do better now. It was just holding it about halfway before. Now it's all the way open. So let's try this again. Yeah, we can see fluid coming out. So let's turn this on. Oh yeah, we got fluid coming down. There tires come some. Boy, there's a lot of air in that system. Woo! No telling the last time these brakes have worked. Okay, now my pads are moving. So I'm holding my brake lever all the way to the bar. I'm pumping it up. Slowly squeeze it so it don't splash out. I gotta pump it up a little bit, not splashing out a little. Alright, I'm gonna open it up. Close it. I'll pump it. Open it. I'm going to hold the brake lever as I'm opening this bleeder. It's going all the way to the handlebar. Pump it up. Hold it. Alright, I'm going to top this back off again. I'm going to push the brake lever in very slowly because it wants to gurgle out the top. As you can see, it's not going all the way to the grip. I'm holding pressure on it. Let it bleed the air out of it. I'll pump it up a little bit again. Bleed the air out of it. We're getting clear fluid now. Pump it up again. Put a little more in and I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. Hopefully I can reach that side. Sorry if I'm blocking the view, but I gotta do what I gotta do here. Well, my cup is starting to get a little bit full, so I'm going to empty it. There's what I got. Really nasty looking stuff. Bunch of rust in the bottom. But while you can hear me, the brakes are pumping up. The pads are coming out on both sides. Both sides are bleeding. Pretty soon here, I'm going to shut this pump off. Okay, I think that's plenty good. We got nothing but clear liquid now. I don't know if you can see inside there. It's got a little bit of dirt in it, but that's left over from what was in this container. See, it looks really good. So I think I got all the old brake fluid out now, and it's filled with the new stuff. All right, now that I found the screws, we'll put them back in. Couldn't remember where I put them. You ever do that? You set something down and you're like, oh my gosh, where did I put that? Well, that's kind of what I did. But I found it. Alright. How about them apples? Woo, that's got good brake. Alright, now that I got everything done, I wanted to show you too, there is absolutely no play in that hub whatsoever. That's fantastic. That makes me happy. Well, these tires are a little taller, so I'm gonna have to jack this up a little bit higher. I actually got 25 instead of 23 tires. I don't know if that's going to be a mistake or not, but I thought I'd try something a little bit bigger. Let's see what happens with it. Hopefully it'll be okay. And then where are the nuts? Here they are. Okay, I've got some hubcaps too. I don't know how many I have. I think I might have 3. So I'll see if I could find them. Got one right behind me. Yeah, I'll torque those later. There's one of my hubcaps. It's a regular Yamaha. Since this is 4-wheel drive, let me put my foot on this so it stay down. Since this is 4-wheel drive, all of the drive line, both front and rear, is spinning, so this doesn't freewheel, so I can't just spin it and show you the brakes working. That's about as much as I could do. And once it's holding, that's good. It ain't going nowhere, and brakes are going to be just fine. And I got plenty of brake lever there, so I just have a little bit of fluid to bleed out, and then I'll be good. Well, that makes me happy. Now I got front brakes. I know that everything's flushed out and good, and the brakes are working. I got brand new pads, brand new calipers, brand new master cylinder. I think I'm going to leave this master cylinder on here. It's working fine. Now that I got it slid over, it's almost to the edge of the handlebar, so I think we're good. And hopefully what I have next on the rear end, it won't be too big a deal. I've got the bearings and the seals for that. I hope I don't have to have anything else. Like I say, I've spent quite a bit of money already. I think I mentioned that in the last video. I've got a couple $100 worth of parts here, and they're all Yamaha parts. I'm going to talk about where I bought these from. Excuse me. It's a little foggy in here from the humidity from that from that pump. What do you think about that pump? How you like that idea? I'll tell you what, it sure makes it a lot faster, a lot easier, especially whenever you got a problem like this and you've got a bunch of air in the system, you got a bunch of rusty junk in it that you want pulled out. It'd take you forever if you didn't have a pump like that that would just continuously pump that out and through. It took a little while to break through and to finally start getting a good flow, but it cleaned it out. I think we're going to be fine with that. Anyway, in the next video, I'll probably talk about these parts. I'll put some of these parts on and I'll tell you where I got them from. I think it's a great place to buy from, so don't miss that. Anyway, I appreciate you coming along. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and leave me a comment. All right, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.